Okay, so Arthur, you and I, we've been talking for quite a while about this.
A little bit, yeah.
I know what you do, and I really want everyone else to know what you do. I'm impressed by how fast you're growing, even since we talked a few months ago.
Yeah.
So why don't we kick this off? Tell us, what is the Newly Institute? What do you guys do for patients, and why is it important right now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So coming out of pandemic, mental health is very topical these days. So the Newly Institute we build ourselves as a holistic, integrated mental health clinical company. And so, yes, we do have psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy for treatment-resistant depression, anxiety, and trauma. But we're much more than that. We have a return-to-work program, we have an addiction treatment program, and we have a chronic pain management program. We do see the general population, but we have a specific focus on military veterans and first responders. And the other thing that's unique about us is that we have contracts. So currently we have 3 clinics open in Calgary, Edmonton, and Fredericton, of all places. We're looking into expanding into our phase 2 probably next year. But our contracts are with the Workers' Compensation Board. We have another contract with the Calgary Police Association and the RCMP. And then we have several more that we're working on right now.
So what you guys do is unique. You offer a lot of different services. Psychedelics, obviously, we get excited about that. It's very topical and interesting, but you do a lot of other things as well. I'm aware of a few other companies doing a somewhat similar business model, but I want you to talk a bit about your competitive advantage, what makes you guys truly unique, kind of from an investor standpoint when they're looking at the
Absolutely. So, being in Vancouver, a lot of people here probably have heard of Numinous and Field Trip. We do compete with Numinous and Field Trip in psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. We do compete against the likes of LifeMark and CBI for the return-to-work program. And then, of course, there's addiction clinics and pain clinics throughout. But we're the only clinical company in Canada that offers all these services under one umbrella, and that's what makes us a little bit different. The second thing is we offer these intensive outpatient programs, they're called. So they're 4-week programs, and they involve over 100 hours of psychotherapy over that 4-week cycle. So depending on what program they're in, a patient may be in our clinic 3, 4, 5 times a week for several hours at a time. And the last thing that makes us unique is our contracts. For someone to replicate what we've done can take a very long time. We've been talking with the RCMP for over 15 months. We've been talking with the Workers' Compensation Board for over a year. And so, a lot of people here know that insurance companies, they tend to move like molasses. But we have secured contracts with each of those entities. And more down the road, we've been having advanced conversations with a very large insurance company that we're hoping to announce here over the next few months.
And those are quality long-term contracts too that are very sticky and could probably expand even beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, our contract with the RCMP is nationwide, and Calgary Police is obviously local, but our contract with the Workers' Compensation Board is a first responder contract, and it's a TPI contract, so traumatic psychological injuries. And so you're right, it's very rare for these insurance companies to award a relatively new company these contracts.
And there was a stat that you told me, and forgive me if we said this at the beginning, but I want people to hear it. When we're talking about the prevalence of mental health issues in terms of, the number of, like, say, Canadians, how common is it?
Yeah, so according to the Canadian Mental Health Institution, 1 in 5 of us here will suffer a mental health illness over his or her lifetime. And, every year, mental health illness costs the Canadian economy upwards of $50 billion a year. So it is pretty prevalent.
So 20% of the entire population, yet for some reason a lot of people are still too ashamed to seek help and to admit it. So I think it's something that's important to put in the forefront now, and why I have so much respect for what you're doing. Now, feel-good stuff aside, let's talk about the business. So in terms of your growth plans, let's touch a little bit about kind of your growth to date, how far you've come, bit of revenue figures. Let's kind of look further as well. What's the next chapter?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been around for about 2.5 years. We have 3 clinics open. We're on track to doing about $6 million in revenue this year, going to 15 just off of the 3 clinics. We are planning for a phase 2 expansion plan in BC, actually, Ontario, and of all places, Newfoundland. And so if we add those clinics in, you know, we can be on track to about $25 million in revenue in a pretty short order here, with about a 35% EBITDA margin.
Amazing. Well, once again, a big thank you to Arthur. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if you're interested in mental health, come see me. Or if you're interested in ketamine, you can come see me too. No,
all that's